From WCIV, this is ABC News 4 in high definition.
We had no idea why people were cheering. We assumed that something good had happened.
Relief in Boston tonight. The suspect in the Boston bombings now captured and in the hospital. Tonight, the recovery process for the city begins. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nikki Gaskins. Eric Egan has the night off. In Boston tonight, a breathless week is coming to a welcome close. It began with the terror bombing of the city's marathon, and it's ending with the sole surviving suspect in custody, in the hospital, and in deep trouble. Today, Boston was trying to get back to normal. ABC's Brandy Hitt is there with more.
Won't you join us as we observe a moment of silence?
After a solemn moment at Fenway Park honoring the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings, the Red Sox and their fans told the world they were finished living in fear.
This is our city.
Less than 24 hours ago, it was a much different feeling as the intense manhunt for second bombing suspect Johar Tsarnaev came to a close. Hours after Johar's older brother Tamerlan was killed in a shootout, a resident discovered the 19-year-old hiding and bleeding in his boat.
He is moving. We have movement in the boat.
In an exclusive interview with ABC News, George Bizzuto, a neighbor of the boat owner, described the chaos.
I heard them yelling, "Get out, get out, get out."
Johar is in serious but stable condition, unable to communicate, with a heavy police presence surrounding his hospital room.
We have a million questions, and those questions need to be answered.
Immigrants of the Russian Caucasus, the brothers came to the U.S. 12 years ago, became athletes, and attended top Boston schools. Then, after spending several months in Russia, Tamerlan allegedly started posting radical videos urging jihad, and Johar began posting anti-American tweets.
Boston, baby! Boston.
As investigators try to determine a motive, the people of Boston are finally breathing a sigh of relief.
You can knock us down, you can beat us up, but we're going to get right back up again.
As a sign of unity, the entire crowd at the Red Sox game also sang the national anthem together as they wait for Johar Tsarnaev to be charged. Brandy Hitt, ABC News, Boston.
And we had a chance to talk to Nick Poser. He lives about 20 yards away, right across the street from the house where the suspect was found. Here's what he had to say.
We were evacuated at 7 o'clock, meaning that when we were here and we saw and heard the gunshots that were fired at the bomber who was in the boat, and he apparently shot back. We saw those. We heard those gunshots. We saw the police officers. We were with a particular detective from the Boston Police Department, and he got a radio call that the bomber had been apprehended.
And from a legal perspective, people are now questioning the way suspect number 2 was captured last night. Even as a U.S. citizen, he was reportedly not read his Miranda rights. Senator Lindsey Graham and other Senate members are defending this decision by law enforcement. Here's a list of important points made today. They claim suspect number 2 is subject to the law of war and therefore is not entitled to his Miranda rights. Again, it's unknown at this time when federal charges will come. There is the possibility they could come while the suspect is in the hospital. Here in Charleston, the running community is rallying for Boston. The Low Country Roadrunners group will run for Boston tomorrow morning at 8. According to the Facebook page for the group, more than 400 people say they're going. It starts tomorrow morning again at 8 at the corner of Broad and Ashley Avenue at Colonial Lake. And thunderstorms cleared out all that humidity last night, and today cold for April standards here in Charleston. Meteorologist Erin Kinsler joins us now for a quick look at the weather. Hey, Erin.
Hey, certainly colder. High temperature today, get this, only 63 degrees. Normally we should be 77 at this time of year. So yeah, the storms moved through last night, and as we take a look outside, this is what we were left with today as we look out over Roper St. Francis, Skycam 4 over there by Coconut Joe's. Cloudy, cool, 61 degrees, humidity 42%, winds from the north at 8 miles per hour. 59 already for Somerville, 61 for Walterboro, 66 for Orangeburg. That cold front is now offshore, but it's just going to kind of hang out for the next couple days, giving us a few clouds, and especially tomorrow, winds will increase and it's going to be breezy. The rest of tonight, temperatures continue to fall. We'll talk more about the low temperature tomorrow morning, what you're going to wake up to coming up. Nikki?
Alrighty. President Obama has declared a state of emergency in West Texas. The fertilizer plant explosion has decimated the small town near Waco, Texas. Area police now hope this federal aid will help speed up the cleanup process. The death toll currently stands at 14. That explosion measured as a 2.1 magnitude earthquake, a surprising number for an incident that started as a building fire. To some news around the Low Country today, the Charleston Animal Society just wrapped up their biggest spay-neuter event of the year so far. They offered a free spay for the Hollywood-Ravenel area. It's part of their goal to make Charleston a no-kill community.
The response was tremendous. This is all part of what we have to do in our community to become a no-kill community. We've got to spay and neuter all the animals we can to make sure that there aren't more born than we have homes for.
And the Society hopes to have the Low Country a no-kill community by the year 2015. Well, a pint of beer, when you think about it, it's not really a lot. In fact, you can drink 1 or 2 at the bar and legally drive home. But in South Carolina, brewery owners by law can't even serve a pint of beer to their customers. Legislation in Columbia could soon change that. ABC News 4's Ava Wilhite has more.
The rules to Coast Brewery and all South Carolina breweries are spelled out on this board, but that could soon change with the Senate bill. This line at Coast Brewery in North Charleston always seems to be growing as the craft beer scene in Charleston attracts more customers.
Thank you very much.
Brewery owner Jamie Tenney is trying to keep up with customer demand for more.
People come in and can sample up to 16, so they'll have, typically 4 4-ounce samples. We just would like to expand that to 64 ounces.
Tenney and the South Carolina Brewers Association are trying to change state law with a bill in the Senate.
It is a bill to allow in-state production breweries the right to sell up to 64 ounces per person per day.
I'll take a bottle of Stout.
Okay.
Tenney says so far they've had smooth sailing with this third bill they are attempting to pass until last week. One amendment added could cripple their small businesses.
The amendment is $1 million per occurrence and then a $10 million aggregate. So we just feel this is a little extreme. It's too much for the majority, if not all of our breweries in South Carolina are very small, family owned.
Tenney says the Senate is trying to be responsible by passing such a high insurance policy, but the Brewers Association is hoping it will be reduced before the next vote.
And make it where, it's responsible in a way that we can function as a business.
Craft beer fans say they're ready for a change.
Other states surrounding us have already got these laws in place, and it would be nice to be able to, you drink 4 4-ounce things, that's the same as a pint. So they might as well just make it so that we can have pints.
A Senate vote could come as early as Tuesday, which would be welcome news in the middle of Beer Week. In North Charleston, Ava Wilhite, ABC News 4.
And the original bill already made it through the House of Representatives without any amendments, so it looks like a change could be here pretty soon. More to come on ABC News 4 at 6. We'll take you to the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Strawberry Festival at Boone Hall. But first, meteorologist Aaron Kinzel has your full forecast. That's coming up next.
Your pinpoint weather forecast with meteorologist Aaron Kenzel, presented by George Sink Entry Lawyers.
And good evening, everybody. What a day as we look outside. You know, last night you probably heard them, the strong storms that rolled through the area. And this is the backside, still dealing with the cloud cover and winds today, you know, slightly breezy at times, but they're really going to pick up as we roll into tomorrow. I want to show you a different shot out at the beach. You know, unfortunately, I should say, you know, during the week we had 80-degree temperatures. We couldn't quite get them for the weekend. Instead today, as you know, much cooler, cloudy out there, only 61, dew point 38 degrees, and winds coming from the north at 8 miles per hour. Almanac today, this kind of puts it in perspective. Our high this afternoon, 63 degrees. Our low this morning was 52. Normally, we should be 77 this time of year, so nowhere close. And tomorrow and Monday, same deal. We're only looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. As far as a record high, 95, not that long ago, back in 2002. Rainfall, a little more than 1/4 of an inch. Surplus since the beginning of the year, we're already 7 inches above. It's been pretty wet so far this winter and spring. Let's check out temperatures elsewhere across the region. We've got 61 as we saw in Charleston, 59 degrees for Somerville, 61 for Walterboro, 61 degrees for Beaufort, 66 for Orangeburg. Here's the deal on satellite and radar. This is a cold front that moved offshore. It's just going to kind of hang out though for the next couple days. As it does so, cloud cover will be tough to get out of here. I think it's going to linger along the coastline, and possibly tomorrow and into Monday, a few isolated showers can kind of move backwards on shore. So we're going to maintain a tiny chance of a shower as we head into Sunday and Monday. Right now, as I do take you closer here on the satellite and radar, inland location. So looking at Orangeburg, you guys were fortunate to see a little more sunshine today, a little more clearing, and we're hoping some of these clouds will kind of decrease slightly and thin out as we go through the overnight. So here's the front as we look at our surface map. That's offshore. Breezy, cool conditions mainly for tomorrow. When I say breezy, we're looking at winds from the northeast anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour, which will make it feel even colder. Tonight, though, those clouds, as I said, I think Futurecast kind of overdoes it just a little bit as far as the clearing line goes, but overall, you get the idea. Those clouds should kind of thin just a little bit. Sunday, we'll have sun at times, especially in the morning. By the afternoon, clouds increase just a tiny bit, and there's just an outside chance of a shower Sunday afternoon. So here's the breakdown, bottom line on everything. Tonight, with the cooler conditions, we will fall into the 40s, even mid-40s inland, so it's certainly going to be a little bit chillier, maybe enough possibly to turn on the heat briefly. Breezy and cool as you head into tomorrow, and in fact we will continue to see below normal temperatures all week long. Tonight's lows, the low 50s, a little bit warmer as we look at the beaches, trying to see that decrease in cloud cover. 45 though for Somerville through the overnight, 44 for St. George. Tomorrow we're looking at upper 60s inland, only mid 60s at the beaches, so another cool one out by Folly, 64 degrees. And we also have a moderate risk for rip currents tomorrow. We've got the next high tide 4:42, low tide 11:04 in the morning. Check out the winds though, northeast 15 to 25, and the wave height choppy, anywhere from 2 to 4 feet. Next 7 days, warm up slightly by midweek, mid 70s on Wednesday, next chance of rain. By Thursday, we'll have more news in sports coming up right here on ABC News 4.
And welcome back. They were walking for autism in downtown Charleston this morning. Walk for Autism Charleston is a nonprofit group that helps families pay for treatment and behavioral development programs. All proceeds go to the group. They also get half the sales from Yo Burrito in downtown Charleston this afternoon that just wrapped up. And to some events around the Lowcountry this weekend, the Charleston Home and Design Show is back on Daniel Island at Family Circle Stadium. Get your design ideas. You can check out the different shows and exhibits, and best of all, it's free. You can head there tomorrow from 11 to 5. And the Lowcountry Strawberry Festival is going on over at Boone Hall. You can still check it out tonight. They're open until midnight, but because of all the rain last night, you can't pick fresh strawberries today. The rain hasn't shut down the rides. They're still open. The festival is still going on from noon till 7 tomorrow. And coming up next in sports, a beautiful scene at Fenway Park today for the Boston Red Sox first game since the capture. And plenty of baseball here in town, all of the local teams in action. Scott Eisberg with all of the highlights next in Sports 4.
And now, ABC News 4 Sports with Scott Eisberg.
Honoring and remembering. Good evening, I'm Scott Eisberg. A city rejoiced after the capture last night. Today in the sports-crazed town of Boston, truly a special ceremony to honor. To Fenway Park we go, the Red Sox taking on the Royals, but what truly is special, the pregame ceremony, honoring those who died at the Boston Marathon, honoring those who were injured, and certainly giving a well-deserved welcome to the police and first responders who put their lives on the line for the safety of those in that city. Truly a moving and emotional half-hour ceremony. The crowd sang the national anthem, and then Big Papi spoke.
We want to thank you, Mayor Menino, Governor Patrick, the whole police department, for the great job that they did this past week. This is our city. And nobody gonna dictate our freedom.
Yes, that was an F-bomb he dropped, and yes, the Red Sox did win 4-3. The hottest baseball team in town right now, the Citadel, after sweeping Georgia Southern last weekend. The Bulldogs beat East Tennessee State midweek and then opened up their series last night with a win over App State. Down to Riley Park we go, and every time Sam Agnew-Whelan pitches, I am equally impressed with his hair. That is a thing of beauty. Citadel jumps out to a lead in this one, up 3-2. Houston Armstrong with the single to left. That drives in 2 more. It's 5-2 Bulldogs. Next inning, Appalachian State gets one back. Noah Holmes with the sac fly to left. That makes it 5-3. That's the final. Citadel beats App 5-3. They go for the sweep tomorrow. College of Charleston and Furman. Charleston native and Bishop England grad Alex Abrams pitching game 2 after Furman took game 1 for Furman. Abrams with the strikeout right there, and Abrams is really solid early on today, has all of his stuff working, gets another strikeout. At last check in this one, Furman is leading the, actually it's a tie game now, 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Charleston Southern waited a long time for last night, the first night baseball game in the history of the school. The night lasted 2 batters before the monsoon came. CSU and Presbyterian playing a doubleheader today, which will bleed into nightfall, so the lights will come out again. To Buccaneer Ballpark, apparently with the lights comes the Avatar stick. I don't really get it, but the players love that thing. Torrey Schroff on the mound for the Buccaneers, and he's solid today. Strikeout right there. Good defense for the Buccaneers as well. John Faircloth out in left field. Nice snag out there for him. 3rd inning, Charleston Southern gets a bit of offense. Men on for Stratford High grad Bobby Eisen, and Eisen laces the single. That drives one in. 2nd run is gunned out at the plate, but that 1 run, all Charleston Southern would need because they win the game 1-0. And so much talk this weekend, though, on the celebration and festivities last night and how the new lights are for CSU players present and past, like their first major leaguer, R.J. Swindle.
Oh, this is great. You know, we were talking about this whenever I was here 10 years ago now, and to have it here finally, you know, it's been a long work in progress, but it's great to see finally CSU stepping up with the lights.
What did it show, what Stewart's done for the program?
Oh, yeah, he's done a great job. I mean, he's done so much for this program, the way he's building it and everything he's been able to do for CSU. I mean, this just shows, I mean, a lot of people have tried in the last 10, 15, 20 years, and here we are, we got lights.
Clemson up at Miami today. Tigers' 11-game win streak comes to a halt. Miami beats the Tigers 2-1. That's the final from Coral Gables. South Carolina and Kentucky playing this afternoon up in the capital city. They're playing a doubleheader because of rain yesterday. South Carolina down 2-0 in the 6th. Joey Pancake says something about that. That is a long home run to left. And the Gamecocks are certainly not done in that 6th inning. How about back-to-back jacks? LB Dantzler, next batter up, home run. South Carolina wins the first game 5-2. Second game is in progress. Heritage, round 3 from down on Hilton Head Island. What a day today for Webb Simpson, the former Azalea winner here in Charleston. He shoots a 6-under par round today at Harbortown. He's at 9 under for the tournament, 2 strokes back of the leader. The leader, the best hair in the golf business, Charlie Hoffman. What a day for Hoffman today. Gets off to a birdie start. Hoffman shoots a 5-under round today. He's at 11 under par heading into Sunday down on Hilton Head Island. Finally, big city lacrosse rivalry today. College of Charleston and Citadel doing battle at Johnson Haygood Stadium. This is a huge matchup in town for the lacrosse community. College of Charleston looking good. Crease attackman Evan Casiato on the doorstep gets the goal for the Cougars. Back though comes the Citadel. Mark Allman with a goal for the Bulldogs. And how about this goal coming up from the Cougars? Parker nicely rips it with the left hand right into the cage. Citadel does go on to beat the College, though. 12-10 is the final score.
I still can't get over Charlie Hoffman's hair. That's some crazy hair.
Yeah, the guy from App State, too. It's the thing these days. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll look at your weather.
All right, it's going to be cool again tomorrow. Breezy, that will be the difference. 66 for the high, winds from the northeast, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Slight chance of a shower both Sunday and Monday. Warmest day of the week looks to be Wednesday. We get a little more sunshine back into the mid-70s.
Definitely looking forward to that. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight at 6. Stay tuned for more news coming up tonight at 11.